Hey everyone, Dan Mortimer with eXp Realty bringing you another weekly market update. This is for Henderson and Las Vegas markets with data as of May 12th, 2025. Another month flying by here. So let's go ahead and dive into the data for the last 7 days and see what's going on. I'll share some of my thoughts and perspective as well. In the last 7 days, we had 1,076 new listings hit the market. We had 194 properties that came back on the market. There were 1,133 homes that had a price decrease of some kind. For those that are new to the channel or new to these weekly updates, could be $1, could be $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, anywhere in between, but 1,133 of them in the last 7 days. We had, getting into the under contract homes, we had 320 homes that went into under contract show status and another 452 that went into under contract no show status. So in total, you're talking about 772 homes going under contract versus 1,076 new listings. So that's a little bit bigger of a gap than we've seen in previous weeks. As far as the solds go, we had 538 homes that went into sold status and another 83 that went into coming soon. Coming soon basically means it's kind of in pre-market mode, listed on our local MLS, but it's not fully active, not fully visible on third-party sites, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, Realtor.com, all that fun stuff. But they usually come on the market in a lot less than 30 days. Usually they'll put it up there for pre-marketing while they wait for photos and things like that to get finalized. Let's dive into the active numbers. There are currently 6,727 single-family homes that are active on the market, 1,524 condos, and 1,085 townhouses. So in total, you're talking about 9,300, a little over 9,300 active listings, which it's climbing. It continues to climb. A lot of my conversations with both buyers and sellers in the last few weeks has been pretty consistent. There's a lot of volatility and concern and a little bit of craziness going on outside of the real estate market that is still having an impact on things. Now, there are also other direct factors, interest rates, prices staying pretty close to all-time highs. But I know there are a lot of external factors, a lot of political things going on, and just concern with world markets and our stock market and other investment markets that are having an impact on people's decision to move forward with buying, selling, whatever it may be. It'll be interesting to see how things continue to go, if we see the interest rates decline at all, or if we see any other major changes that impact things. But really and truly, what we've seen over the last few weeks is things have remained slow. They've remained sluggish. We're steadily seeing the inventory climb up. We're still sitting on probably 3.5 months worth of inventory. So we're still in a bit of a balanced market. There's just not there's just not as much buyer activity as I think a lot of people were expecting. We're into mid-May now, which should be kind of the beginning of the peak buying season, where we typically see the most buyer activity. We're seeing a little bit of it. It's not like it's completely slowed down. I mean, we had 772 homes go into contract this past week, but it's definitely not keeping pace with the number of new homes hitting the market, and our inventory continues to steadily climb. As I mentioned in update videos before, a balanced market is technically 6 months worth of inventory, but with the limited number of buyers in the market right now, and coupling that with the inventory, again, kind of steadily climbing more and more, you can't necessarily just fall back on, you can't just fall back on the original numbers of, 6 months is technically a balanced market. I would say we're in a pretty balanced market right now. Part of the challenge with that is you have a lot of homes, buyers have a lot of choices to go with when they are looking for a home, as opposed to what it was a few years ago where you had multiple buyers competing for the same home. We're still seeing that in some cases, but more often than not, we're seeing a lot of homes coming on the market that are overpriced. And buyers just have choices. They have a lot more leverage than they have the last few years, and buyers are being patient. They're taking their time. They're not rushing into things because there just isn't quite as much competition as what we've seen. For those that watch my monthly market update video, you'll see that in the month of April, we came off of that high, that record price point of $485,000 for the median sale price. We saw a slight drawback down to $480,000 for single family homes, and we saw a slight drop off as well in the townhomes and condos. Still right around record highs, and I think that's still a big factor for buyers right now. When you have options, price becomes much more of a factor. And like I said, there are still homes that are getting multiple offers and going very quickly in a few days or a week. But generally speaking, sellers, you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to stage your home to sell. You're going to have to position yourself with a strong price from day one, and do everything that you can to attract buyer activity, because there's just a lot more competition on the seller side now than there was, a couple of years ago. It'll be interesting to see how things play out, because like I said, we kind of have two trends that are clashing with one another. Slower buyer activity, but we're also getting into that peak buying season where things are typically the busiest. It'll be interesting to see if the inventory continues to climb and we see a repeat of what we saw in 2024 with a lot less buyer activity and not a ton of new listing inventory coming up on the market either. If things continue to stay balanced, if we see things trend toward more of a buyer's market, or if we see a flood of activity, interest rates drop, and it becomes a feeding frenzy again. Only time will tell. Anybody that tells you, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen, it's going to crash, or it's going to skyrocket, or it's going to be, we're going to get millions of people from California, nobody really knows. People have guesses based on data, based on historical trends and things like that, but really and truly, nobody knows. We saw when President Trump announced the tariffs a month and a half ago, and interest rates dropped very slightly for a couple of days, and we saw interest in mortgages jump up quite a bit. Last year, there was a mortgage loan officer that I talked to that said they had seen the biggest gap between a buyer starting the pre-approval process and actually getting into the home. I think it was 3 or 4 times larger than average. So buyers are being patient right now. The ones that are motivated, they're getting into homes, but they have choices. And so from a seller standpoint, it just means that you have to be more competitive. You have to price right. You have to stage your home well, hosting open houses, getting the right photos, the right 3D tour, all that stuff. Every little bit matters a lot more now than it did a few years ago when the market was crazy. So I hope you guys got some value from this. If you did, there's 2 ways that you can support this channel. The first is the easiest. There's a subscribe button on all my videos and on the homepage for my channel. If you click that, you get notifications anytime I post new videos. I try to post at least a couple videos a week, market update videos, property walkthroughs, news, all kinds of different stuff like that. So subscribe so you can get notifications when I post videos. The second way that you can support this channel is I put a link in the description of this video where you can set up a one-on-one meeting with me. Could be over the phone, could be over Zoom, Google Meet, whatever. Or we could set up a time to meet in person if you prefer, but it gives me a chance to get to know you a little bit better. There's no cost or anything like that. There's no obligation. You don't have to buy or sell a home just because you sit down and chat with me for 10, 15 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever it may be. But it gives you a chance to get to know me a little bit better, and it gives me an opportunity to learn more about your situation, what your real estate goals are, and help you to put a plan in place to achieve those goals, whether it be now, 9 days, 90 days, 900 days from now. Just gives me an opportunity to connect with you and try to give you some value and some insights into what's going on and help you with your real estate goals, whether that's buying, selling, renting, investing, coming into Vegas, getting out of Vegas, whatever it may be. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you at the next one.